There's nothing more American than PBS. It's a safe place where kids learn and grow, and where grown-ups are informed, entertained, and inspired. PBS is one of America's greatest resources for 50 years strong, and PBS needs your help to keep going for another 50.
We will have done a great service
for our future. Visit Protect My Public Media to learn more, because there's nothing more American than PBS.
These other headlines start at the Supreme Court. The justices will hear two cases next term on whether states may exclude transgender athletes from women's and girls' sports. The cases, one in Idaho and one in West Virginia, involve lower court rulings that sided in favor of transgender athletes at both the K through 12 and college levels. This comes just 2 weeks after the High Court upheld a ban on gender-affirming care for minors. And just this week, the University of Pennsylvania resolved a federal civil rights case by agreeing to limit transgender participation in sports. Kilmar Abrego Garcia says he endured severe beatings and other forms of torture while being held at a notorious prison in El Salvador. It's his first account of his time there after the Trump administration mistakenly deported him back in March. In a new court filing, Abrego Garcia described being stripped naked, head shaved, beaten, and forced to kneel for 9 hours straight overnight. He says he lost more than 30 pounds in 2 weeks. Abrego Garcia is currently being held at a Tennessee jail as he awaits trial on human smuggling charges. Health officials in Gaza say Israeli gunfire and airstrikes killed nearly 100 Palestinians across the Strip overnight and into today. 45 of those deaths were Gazans attempting to get food from aid distribution sites. Israel maintains that it targets only Hamas militants or fires warning shots to keep crowds at bay. Strikes across the Strip also hit displaced Palestinians who were sheltering and sleeping in tents. In southern Gaza, at least 13 members of a single family were killed. Another strike left 15 dead at a school in northern Gaza City.
We woke up to the sounds of explosions. We found fire spreading all over the roof. It was a huge fire. When we started to put it out, we found charred bodies of children and women.
These dozens of deaths come as Israel and Hamas may be inching closer to a possible ceasefire. Hamas is seeking guarantees that any proposal would eventually lead to the war's end. But today, the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, reiterated that Hamas has no future in Gaza. In Europe, a record-breaking heat wave is moving east, bringing some much-needed relief to Spain and France, but sizzling other parts of the continent, like the Balkans. In North Macedonia, residents leaped into rivers in order to stay cool amid triple-digit temperatures. But elsewhere, the heat, along with a severe drought, has allowed wildfires to rage in Greece, Germany, and Turkey. The blazes have killed at least one person and forced thousands to evacuate. There is good economic news heading into the July 4th weekend. U.S. employers kept hiring at a steady clip in the month of June, while unemployment fell. The stronger-than-expected 147,000 added jobs beat expectations and were in line with the 144,000 new jobs back in May. The unemployment rate ticked down to 4.1% in June. It was 4.2% the month before. All of this points to a stable labor market, and experts say that likely means Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell won't be in a hurry to lower interest rates when the Fed meets later this month. Stocks rose today on the job numbers news. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added nearly 350 points, while the Nasdaq gained more than a percentage point. Both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 hit new record highs. The Chicago suburb where Pope Leo XIV grew up has approved plans to buy his childhood home. The Board of Trustees in the village of Dolton, Illinois, voted unanimously to purchase the small two-story house. The city will preserve it and turn it into a historical site. Many visitors have already flocked to the home since the new pope's election in May, some of them treating it as a pilgrimage. And acclaimed actor Michael Madsen has died. He was found unresponsive in his Malibu home. His manager said the apparent cause of death was cardiac arrest. Among his best-known roles was his menacing performance as Mr. Blonde in the crime thriller Reservoir Dogs. Madsen often teamed up with director and friend Quentin Tarantino, lending his chilling character portrayals to other films like Kill Bill and The Hateful Eight. He had an acting career that spanned over 4 decades. Michael Madsen was 67 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, the Trump administration withholds billions to fund critical school programs. A drive-by mass shooting in Chicago highlights the perpetual problem of gun violence. And author Robin Givhan discusses her biography of revolutionary designer Virgil Abloh.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.